Hello everyone, welcome to another video with Cass on the Maizuma channel. So today guys I have a cool redstone component to show you guys. And I prepared a nice setup to demonstrate some of the things that you can do. And it is about remote control. So I have here a input panel and the displays back there are going to be my outputs. So what I can do here is I can select a cell by clicking this button. And by the way, when information arrives on the other side, I make this little animation that you see at the bottom of the displays. And then once I have something selected, I can just print a number in there. So this, for instance, would be number 1. So those are 7-segment displays. They don't have a lot of resolution, but they can represent numbers really easily. This is 2. I'll just give you a few examples. Yeah, so it will change into a 2. Then I can select something else. Let's wait for the information to arrive, and then I can change this number as well. So I can maybe put a 5 in there. Since information is already there, I can already select something else like this. Yeah, and then once it's selected, I can. So this is 5, 6, 7. Let's place a 7 in there. Alright, and what I can also do is, if anything is selected and I click to select it once again, it will deselect it. And when nothing is selected, no matter what I press in here, it will not change anything. So for instance, this would change the numbers into a 9, and if I send this information now, nothing changes because nothing is currently selected. And this is the redstone behind everything. I hope it's not too scary for you, especially because in this video, the main goal of this video is to talk about that device back there, which is our pulse length decoder. And here is one example of a pulse length encoder, which we will get to, and I will do the tutorial for these things today. But first of all, I would like to quickly talk about this circuit, because I know that some of you guys might be interested, and also I need to know if you guys want tutorial for the extra components that I'm using here in this demonstration video. Alright, so let's start from the beginning. This is our input panel, and this is a really cool input panel that I came up with because it follows exactly, it works exactly like a numeric keypad. The output is signal strength, so if you press anything in here, you get signal strength out of this. But the problem with numeric pads is that they are not in the order you would expect. They start, the values are actually 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, and once you get to 9, which is the highest value, you go all the way back down to 0 again, because this is 0. So what this panel does is, if you press 0, the signal strength is going to be 1. If we look quickly in here, you can see the 1 in the signal strength value in there. Yeah, it's actually sending the information there. So let me cut the wire. All right, so if you press 1, it's going to be a 2. If you press 3, it's going to be a 4. So it's always one signal strength level above the value that you give. So yeah, this is a pretty cool panel. And then those will output signal strength levels of 11, 12, and 13 respectively. And if you want, you can also hook up those 2 buttons. I haven't hooked those up in here because I didn't need them. So yeah, for extra functionality. So you guys let me know if you want a tutorial for this. This is a pretty cool one. And then we connect the signal strength output to this very well-known design, which is a decoder or something like. I think this was designed by Generic B, so I don't know if he gave it a proper a technical name or anything. But yeah, basically it takes signal strength and then it will turn on only one of those torches. And then this torch is finally connected to the final component, which is the component that matters to this tutorial, which is a pulse length encoder. So for every button that you press in here, we will generate a pulse with a different length. All right, and then this pulse travels to a single wire to this big machine in here and gets decoded and does all the things that you saw. So yeah. So once the pulse gets in here, this gray circuit is actually what decodes it. So if I want to select one of the digits, so those will show me what is selected. I can select the first one by clicking this button in here. You can see the signal traveling all the way back in here, and then this latch gets activated, and then this line gets enabled, and then this digit gets selected. So yeah, so the method I'm going to show you today is really suitable for when you have many functions that you can access remotely. So you want to send your information to one place, but once the information gets in there, there are many things that can be done. All right, so for the 3 black buttons from the input panel, I can do 3 different selections in here. I could have used a shift register here as well. Then if I click any of those buttons and this line is enabled, I can change the digit. And what I have up here is really nice designs for 7-segment displays. As you can see, they're 3 wide, so they can easily be tiled horizontally, as you can see in here. And I tried to make it good to tile vertically as well. So as you can see, there's no redstone at the top. And you need at least, depends on your redstone skills, but it needs at least 3 blocks in between each other if you want to tile those vertically. All right. And the complicated thing that you see down here is something that I had to come up with for this, because I didn't want to do another signal strength decoder for the displays as I did with my 4x7 7-segment displays. Those are 3x5 because those are really small, and the ones I made in the past are 4x7. So what this does is all of those components down here work as latches, but not only latches, they are also selectors, because if I select one slice to display one number, it resets all the other ones, so keeps it consistent, accepts the enable line, and is tileable every 4 blocks in this direction, and is tileable every 2 blocks in this direction. So I needed a very specific design to suit those needs. So finally, about the decoders. Those are called, or at least I am calling them, differential pulse code decoders or encoders. And here is the silent one, or pistonless, and here is the more compact version using pistons that is very versatile. So yeah, many possibilities, guys. So let's go to the tutorial. All right, let's start by first building the decoder, and then we will build the encoder. Okay, so we'll need a kind of 2x3 or 2x4 platform in there, and your input always needs to be a repeater, or at least strong signal in here, because you need to power this redstone dust from the side. So what you do here is to connect it to solid block, and then torch, go back with a repeater, and make sure that this comparator here is in subtraction mode. This is the only thing that's really important and can make you mess things up. Next up, you actually need the next component to be able to make this work. But yeah, you can like have a line, like this, solid block, dust, and then connect it back with a repeater, like so. And that's basically everything. I think it works even without this block. And then your output can be taken from a torch, like so. Alright, so I think I can select this, and yeah, this is all you need, guys. This is really all you need. I'll just place a lamp in here just for demonstration purposes, and then I can stack this maybe 5 times, and yeah, you just keep repeating the same pattern. And now what this will do is it will detect any pulse lengths above 1 tick, 1 redstone tick. So yeah, this 1 tick will be ignored. So if it's a 2 tick, it will be decoded by the first one. If it's a 3 tick, it will be decoded by the second one. 4 ticks by the next one, and so on. So this is all you need. And if you're wondering, the pulse that you get from here is a 2 tick pulse. So if I select the second one, you can see that the piston quickly goes. I can use this to also demonstrate that this piston will now spit the block. Yeah. And something cool is you can get a 1 tick pulse out of this thing, actually. And I believe you just need to do something like this. You just have to turn where your torches are to get this output, and I will change where the lamps are, yeah, as well. Yeah, I could have stacked this, but never mind. Okay, so now we can select this one, and if I place a piston in here, you can see that it will speed out the block. It's not really a one tick pulse. I think it's a one 3 game ticks for this pulse. And the cool thing about those is that they can go through torch towers, which can be useful in some cases. So if I place this in here, so yeah, if you don't know, normally those pulses cannot travel to torch towers, but this one can because it's 3 game ticks. And then, what am I missing? Yeah, it's pure. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So for some reason, this one won't do. I think it's a true 1 game tick pulse. I don't know, maybe it is. But if you invert those torches, then this works. Sorry, guys. It's good that I made the mistake, so you guys know the difference. So okay. Okay, so the torches are now forward, and I think you also need 1 block in here to create the quick pulse in there. So now it's connected to the first one, so I will change the pulse in here, and now you can see the piston will speed out the block. Okay, I went back to the original design because I think it's easier to just show you that this design is just a modification of this. So what you need to do is to get rid of this layer here, get rid of the redstone dust in there, so this piston gets extended, and then place another solid block in there. And here we can have, let's do it the same exact way it was with the other one. And here you can have your output. Your output can also be taken from redstone dust in here, for instance. And that's it. That is all you need. So this is more compact. So let's stack to see how it looks. All right, so this is how it looks, and it already works. So this will activate the first one, this will activate the second one, fourth one, and then you need to hook it up to the actual encoder. We will do this in a minute. And another cool thing about this design is that you can turn the directions of those the output. The output is really the observer, so you can have your output be here or face upwards, and yeah, those are really cool, guys. So yeah, if we activate this one, it will output upwards. This one will output like this. You can also be smart about your design. Sometimes it's better, depending if you want a double pulse, you can also have your output simply be a solid block like this, and then connect it to a observer on the other end. So yeah, there are many ways to make this work. I have extended the decoder, and now it's time to create the thing that will create those pulses for you. Okay, so it starts with a button, and this will activate this dust as well as this repeater. And there are many ways of doing this. So I guess I will just do it like this. You can have a pair of droppers facing each other, like you see in here. And on this side, you get a fern inside this dropper. And then you can have your output be in here, for instance, if you want to go compact, and then you know, you can have your signal going back from here. This is one option. Another option is to take your output from here, which is what I am going to do. So, and then your output has to be a repeater because the item inside the dropper gives out only one dot of signal strength. So yeah, it's too little. And finally here, we'll place dust in there. It will make sense soon. Another repeater, and then this will update this dropper in there. So yeah, we can connect this wire to here. Alright, and then we can run our first test. So yeah, we are already able to activate the first one. If you want the first button to not activate the first one for some reason, you can change the value on this repeater. So all the ones will change. So as you can see, the first one is the second one on the other side. Okay, so to extend this thing, I'll just place a few in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it should be cool. You just have to extend this, and you have to do a pattern that will repeat every 2 blocks. So you place repeaters like this and dust, in there, and on these ones you have torches, so you can destroy those blocks as well, and solid blocks in there and torches in there. And actually here you need repeaters in between, and those repeaters need to be set on 2 ticks. So those ones are on 1 tick, and the ones that go to the output need to be set on 2 ticks, except for this one, which I just showed you what happens. Okay, and it's ready to be tested. So this should activate the second one, the third one, fourth one, and alright. So the final thing that I need to show you is when you have way too many outputs to decode, the signal strength down here will run out eventually because of the limitations. So I will expand this and show you how to go beyond 15 with the encoder. Alright, so there we are. So yeah, we can activate any of these just to check, and yeah, works. So now we're gonna cut the wire so nothing gets powered on the other side, and here we can use a lever to see how far the signal strength goes. And it ends here. So if you're doing this test, you will see that the signal strength always ends where a torch is going to be, not where a repeater is going to be. So let's do the necessary changes in here to make sure that everything stays stylable side by side without a gap in between. So let me pick a few blocks in here that we're going to need, and let's do a few changes. So the first change is where the signal strength dies, you place 1 repeater going in this direction. And now we need to compensate for this repeater, so I'm also going to change this, place the button back in there. You need to get rid of this torch, so yeah, also temporarily get rid of this. So here, instead of two torches, just 1. You need to get rid of this redstone dust in here. I like to place a block on top of it just to remind me that the redstone dust is not missing, but is not here on purpose. So yeah, and the torch will power this block. And then if your input goes to this side, so if this is the output of your encoder, we're doing things on the other direction, if you know what I mean. So this other block will be changed in blue as well, to make it easy for you. Alright, and on this block you're gonna place 1 torch here and another torch going this way. So this block has 2 torches like this. And the final change is to replace this repeater, which is normally on 2 ticks, and set it to be on 3 ticks. And those are the changes that make everything fully tileable. Okay, I can click this to reset this circuit because otherwise it won't. We can replace the wire in there. And if we press this button, now we can see that it will activate this guy in here. So we can mark it as being the last one. I will mark this in blue. And now we need to check the transition. So press the button in the transition, and it needs to activate the next one. So it works fine. And now we need to know if things are working after the transition. So this one needs to get activated now. So let's go all the way back. Let's activate what happens after the transition, and if we are quick enough, we can see that everything works fine. So yeah, that's it. That's how you extend this. And if you want to make this look nicer, you can just have your inputs be repeaters like this. You can do things to keep this lamp turned on permanently if you want, and then you can do it like so. So do this, expand 1, and then I don't know how many I have in there, so I'll just maybe stack I don't know, 21 of those. Yeah, so yeah, and then you can have a flat wall here and do your decorations, and your panel is going to look really nice if you want. So yeah, third one activates the third one. So yeah, that's it, guys. So I have many designs for different pulse length encoders and decoders, and you can check those out in the video description. I added links to all of those. I'll probably make a playlist with all of the pulse length decoders. And now I almost forgot to explain how this works. I have already explained it in the past. I'm calling this a differential pulse length decoder because the way it works is it will decrease the length of the pulse every time. So this guy cannot detect a 1-tick pulse, right? So if you send it a 2-tick pulse, next time it will become a 1-tick pulse and will not be detected. So this is how we do the selection. If we send it a 10-tick pulse, it will become 9, then 8, then 7, and so on until it becomes a 1-tick pulse and cannot activate anything forward. So it activates the last thing it touches, and this is how this works. And in the future, I also want to do a absolute, instead of differential or relative, I'm going to do a absolute pulse length detector, which can be used to activate different devices rather than activate functions inside one device. If you can understand the difference, you guys please let me know if you want tutorials for the other components that I showed in here. And thank you very much for watching. Hope you have fun. See you soon. Bye.